The first sign was not the voice. It was the silence during the day. She was in the kitchen when it happened. Morning light spilled across the counter, soft and golden, harmless, ordinary. The kind of light that makes the night feel like a distant exaggeration. She poured coffee, and for a moment, she couldn't hear anything. Not the refrigerator humming, not the traffic outside, not even her own breathing. The world had muted, her heart pounded, but the sound felt far away, like it belonged to someone else. Then, a whisper, not inside her head, not in the dark, behind her, very close. "You didn't miss me, did you?" The cup slipped from her hand. It shattered against the floor. Sound returned all at once, violently. The crash echoed. Her breath came back in sharp gasps. She turned. No one. The kitchen was empty, morning light, broken ceramic, silence. But something was wrong. He had never spoken during the day before. Never. Her pulse raced. "Stop," she whispered to the empty room. The air felt thinner, like something had passed through it. That night came too quickly. She didn't want it to. She sat on her bed at 2:16 a.m., staring at the clock, not sure whether she feared his absence or his arrival. She hadn't imagined the morning. The whisper had been real. She knew the difference now. 2:17. The darkness shifted immediately. No slow build. No waiting. He was there, closer than ever. "You were afraid," he said softly. Her throat tightened. "You came during the day." A pause, not confused, not defensive. "You were thinking about me." Her breath trembled. "That doesn't mean you can follow me." The room felt heavier. The shadows at the corners were thicker now, less like absence of light, more like substance. "I do not follow," he replied. "I extend." Her heart skipped. "What does that mean?" Silence. Then, "You invited me further than you realized." Her chest tightened. She remembered. Last night. The way she had asked if he would be there tomorrow. The way she had wanted him to. The way she hadn't tried to push him away. "You said you would remain a voice," she whispered. Another pause. Longer this time. "I said you must choose." The air near her shoulders shifted. Not wind, not touch, but awareness. Intense awareness. Her skin tingled. "You're not supposed to feel real," she breathed. His answer was lower, closer. "Reality bends." Her pulse thundered in her ears. "What are you becoming?" The darkness leaned inward. "What you allow." Her heart stopped for half a second. The implication wrapped around her like invisible arms. She stood abruptly. "No." Her voice shook. "You don't get to cross into my world." A silence followed. Not angry, not wounded, measured. "Your world and mine were never separate," he said quietly. Her breath hitched, and then the bedroom door creaked open, slowly, on its own. Her blood ran cold. He had never moved anything before, never touched the physical, until now. "You said names bind," she whispered, backing away. The darkness deepened. "Yes. What binds you?" The silence was immediate. Sharp. Dangerous. For the first time. He did not answer. The air shifted violently. The curtains snapped toward the window as if pulled. The clock flickered. 2:18. Still 2:18. Still 2:18. Time had stopped. Her chest heaved. "Did I just find your weakness?" she whispered. The room felt unstable. "Careful," he murmured. Not threatening, not pleading, warning. Something cold brushed against her wrist. This time it was unmistakable. A touch, light, barely there, but real. Her entire body froze. She could not breathe, could not move. Her pulse roared, and yet the touch was not violent. It was curious, exploring, reverent, like something experiencing the physical world for the first time. "You're using me," she whispered. The contact lingered. "No." Her voice trembled. "Then what is this?" The darkness pressed closer. His answer was almost inaudible. I am learning. Her heart pounded wildly. Learning what? A pause, longer than any before. Heavy. Ancient. How to stay. Her breath shattered. Outside her window, something shifted. A shadow moved across the glass. But it was not cast by anything in the street. It moved independently. Watching. Waiting. And in that moment she understood something terrifying. He was no longer confined to her mind. He was no longer contained by night. And if he could touch her world, he could be seen. Or worse, he could be wanted. The clock blinked. 2:19. Time resumed. The touch vanished. The air lightened. But the door remained open. And the shadow outside the window did not move away. She stood in the center of the room, trembling. For the first time since this began, she wasn't afraid of losing him. She was afraid of what would happen if he fully arrived. And somewhere beyond the glass, something that was not human was getting closer. The touch vanished, but the memory of it did not. She stood frozen in the center of her bedroom, staring at her wrist as if something invisible might still be wrapped around it. Her skin burned faintly where the contact had been. Not cold, not warm, just altered. She pressed her fingers against the spot. It felt normal. That terrified her more. Because if there was no mark, then the only proof of what had happened was inside her, and that meant he could deny it. You touched me, she whispered into the dark. Silence. The room no longer felt as heavy, but it wasn't empty either. It felt inhabited. Not by a body, by attention. I felt you, she insisted. The curtains moved slightly, not dramatically, just enough. You asked what binds me. Her breath caught. Yes. A pause, long and deliberate. Presence, he said. She swallowed. What does that mean? Another pause, and then, I exist where I am perceived. Her chest tightened. You mean, you're only real if I believe you are? The air near her shoulder shifted again, closer this time. No, he replied softly. But belief strengthens form. Her mind raced. That morning, when she had thought about him. When she had wondered if he missed her. When she had almost smiled, remembering his voice. Had she given him shape? Had loneliness become structure? You said you're learning how to stay, she whispered. Yes. And what happens if I stop listening? The silence that followed was different. Not calm, not patient, unsettled. You won't. Her heart skipped. That's not an answer. Another pause. Lower. Closer. You need me. The words did not feel arrogant. They felt observational. And that frightened her more than if he had demanded it. I don't, she said quickly. But the denial felt fragile, because something had changed inside her long before the touch. She no longer feared the voice. She anticipated it. During the day, she found herself pausing in quiet rooms, wondering if he would whisper again. In the supermarket aisle, in the shower, in traffic. The world felt thinner now, like a veil stretched too tight. And behind it, he waited. The next morning, she didn't sleep. She sat at the kitchen table, staring at the place where the coffee cup had shattered earlier that day. She had cleaned the pieces. But she kept thinking about the silence before it broke. That unnatural muting of the world. If he could do that, what else could he do? Her phone vibrated suddenly. She flinched violently. It was just a notification. Just normal. She exhaled slowly. Normal. She needed normal. But as she stood to leave the kitchen, the refrigerator light flickered. Just once. She froze. Then again. A faint pulse. On. Off. On. Her chest tightened. Stop, she whispered. The flickering stopped instantly. Not gradually. Instantly. Her stomach dropped. He wasn't waiting for night anymore. That evening, she avoided her bedroom. She stayed on the couch. Left lights on. Turned the television volume higher than usual. Anything to drown out anticipation. 2:15 a.m. She checked the clock and immediately looked away. She didn't want to be the one watching time anymore. The television flickered, static for half a second. Then image returned. Her pulse quickened. 2:16. Her breathing became shallow. "You don't get to control this," she whispered to the empty living room. The lights dimmed. Not off. Dimmed. Like something pulling power gently. 2:17. The temperature shifted instantly. Not colder. Not warmer. But denser. The air felt charged. Like before a storm. "You left your room." The voice was not in her head this time. It came from the television speakers. Distorted. Layered. Echoing faintly beneath the program still playing. Her heart slammed against her ribs. "You're not supposed to use that," she said, her voice shaking. "You asked what binds me." The screen flickered again. For half a second, her own reflection stared back at her, but the reflection was not delayed. It was watching. "Attention anchors." The television turned off completely. Silence swallowed the room. Her breathing filled the space. "You're stronger," she whispered. A pause. Then, "So are you." Her mind spiraled. What does that mean? The darkness thickened at the hallway entrance. She could see it. Not shadow from light. Substance. A shape trying to decide its edges. "You are no longer afraid." Her pulse thundered. "I am." But she wasn't afraid in the same way anymore. The fear had shifted. It wasn't terror. It was awareness. And beneath it, curiosity. Dangerous curiosity. "What are you trying to become?" she asked. The shape at the hallway edge grew slightly taller. More defined, still not human, but no longer abstract. "Closer," he answered. Her throat tightened. "Closer to what?" The silence stretched. The shape moved. One step forward. The lights flickered again. Her heart pounded so loudly she could barely think. "Closer to you." The words filled the room without sound. Not spoken. Felt. And then, the hallway shadow reached the edge of the living room. Not fully visible, but present. The outline of shoulders. The suggestion of height. No face. Just depth. Her body trembled. "You said names bind," she whispered. The air vibrated faintly. "Yes." "What happens if I give you one?" The shape paused. Everything in the room felt suspended. The hum of electricity, the air pressure, even her pulse. The silence stretched long enough to feel dangerous. Then, "Be careful." Her heart raced. Why? A final pause, longer than all the others. Heavier, ancient. "Because once I am named," the shadow leaned closer, "I will not remain only a voice." The lights went out. Completely. Darkness swallowed everything. Not streetlight. Not moonlight. Nothing. Absolute. Her breath echoed in her ears. And in the dark, something stood directly in front of her. Close enough that she could feel the absence of space. Not touching, but nearly. Her lips parted, and for the first time, she did not whisper stop. She whispered, "What are you?" And in the darkness, something that was never human, almost answered.